Before we begin, we'd like to remind you that forex trading involves significant risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Please pause the screen and read the full disclosure. Thank you.
Pound yen. Here, once again, pound yen is a dangerous pair to trade. You have the lack of liquidity of the pound-based pairs along with the extreme volatility of the yen-based pairs. This week we've seen 200, even I think close to 300 pip ranges on this pair. We've gone back and forth a number of times. We're still in a ranging area. We're near the bearish end of that range. I had been calling this bullish, and here again it was because I thought that the pound had a reasonable. I think the pound's been beaten up so much over the last several months that it probably has more opportunity in an upside than the euro does, and that's why I was bearish to the pound side on the previous pair. And in this situation too, I believed that much like USD yen, that there were going to be flows that would benefit the pound. However, with the equities story that we already talked about, money is finding the yen, and at least in the short run, I'm going to be selling rallies on this. And as long as we stay within that range, over the medium term, I'm bearish. This is a change from last week. I had been bullish on this, but where we're at technically, even though the fundamentals to me still give me a little bit of optimism toward the bull side here, the technical story isn't matching up with that, and it hasn't matched up long enough that I gotta switch my 3-month sentiment here and just say that I will stick with what I kind of said on the USD yen until equities find a bottom, a believable bottom, and begin another move upwards. I think the risk on this pair is to the downside. So let's take a look at the chart. Okay, we had a bunch of support levels in here that got busted. Now they're, most likely at least to be more along the lines of resistance levels, or at least places on the chart where we'd stop. As you can see, this is a weekly chart, so we have been within this range. We're right near the bottom of that range now. We'll go in and take a closer look here. We get down to the support level and we do see a bounce. Even with an aggressive move down like this, we went down, oh gosh, 440 pips in one day here, and we bounced. We bounced up, and here we are coming back into this resistance level. Would give us a reasonable, at least short-run play. I probably would let it come back up into this area or this area. A 440 pip move on a pair in one day is a big event, even for something like pound yen. But I think it shows us that when we have a day in equities and a day like we had today, fundamentally, that money goes to the yen, and in this case, money left the pound as well. So we had money getting out of the pound markets, we had money getting out of the equity markets, and we had people buying yen. This is the pair where we saw the biggest reaction to that, and I think that the bears have to be salivating about what could happen if this support level is breached. I don't really get too much news about options that occur on the pound yen. but you know, you would have to imagine that there's got to be some pretty hefty stops below here. How much below? Hard to say. Let's go back to the weekly chart again, and you know, I mean, if this area is breached, I don't think a 130 breach is or a 130 test is out of the question over the next few weeks. You know, this is a crazy pair to trade. If you've got the risk appetite for it, take a look at it. Take a look at your system and what it tells you to do. But I think that we've played in this range for quite some time, and you know, if we look at the weekly, we've had a pretty pronounced move here. Several weeks in a row we've been moving toward the downside, even with some pretty reasonable volatility within the week. The story is to the downside, and if you even want to draw a little kind of parabolic line there, we're falling off. This support level here is key. If it goes, there's no saying how much this pair could move if that goes. I mean, just the initial reaction move could be another 400, 500 pip move down, which would put us into this area here, 135-ish. So once again, take a look at your own system, but I got to be bearish on this pair right now, even though I was originally bullish. Can't go there anymore.